Hola familia, I'm Edgar Crispin, your national rep for the 2020-2021 school year. And this is a video that I'm making about to talk about Alpha and why it's so important to our HBSA familia. So before I go into detail about Alpha, here's some quick details about HBSA. So HBSA was founded in 1980 here at Bauer, and originally it was under a different name, but as the years went on, they became a Hispanic Business Student Association chapter. As of now, we're over 200 plus members strong. Pre-COVID, we had even more members, and hopefully it comes back to that whenever everything goes back to normal. We're a hybrid chapter with Alpha, so I'm gonna go into more detail later about that. But basically, what that means is that not only are we an HBSA chapter, but we're also an Alpha student chapter. So just like other student chapters that we have in our region, we get to take advantage of the same things that they can. And of course, we're open to all majors, not just business majors. Of course, we always have people from different colleges within UH, and it's really great to see. So our five pillars in HBSA are familia, leadership, academics, professionalism, and service, or as we call it, FLAPS. And Alpha falls under the leadership pillar, and it's because unlike professionalism, which is a bunch of the corporate stuff, the leadership pillar, you get to really take, I guess you could say, like pride in being a Latino community. But of course, you don't have to be Latino to be part of Alpha. So here's how HBSA and Alpha connect. So a little bit of background information on Alpha. It was founded in 1972 under a different name. It was originally for Latino like accounting and finance students, but then over time it became open to all majors. As of now, they have over 95,000 plus members who are both professional members and student members. They have 157 student chapters, including us, and 44 professional chapters. And of course, Alpha is the largest Latino professional organization in the United States. HBSA, on the other hand, where we are part of Alpha, we're a student chapter. We're part of the Alpha Houston chapter, and the Alpha Houston professional chapter includes other universities such as UT, A&M, University of St. Thomas, University of Houston Downtown, UTSA, etc. And a large percentage of our offers within HBSA actually come from Alpha related events. So here's some of the regional Alpha events that happen. So Alpha Houston, they usually offer speaker panels throughout the semester, community service events, networking events, and committee events. And a lot of times, or usually all the time, the student chapters, we get invited to participate in these events. Pre-COVID, we would get invited to participate in these events, and it was really great to meet professionals from companies such as the Big Four, energy companies, and other big regional companies because basically it was like if you could kind of get mentorship from them. And it was really great to see. And of course, if you want to look at the Alpha Houston Instagram and kind of see in detail like some of the things they've done recently, here's the here's the little QR code that you can kind of scan right now, and so you can see what things they've been up to recently. So here's some of the main Alpha national events. So symposium is an event that happens once every semester. So basically what the symposiums are is that, yeah, once a semester in each of the different regions that Alpha has, that region, they get to have an event where it's basically usually one day and it consists of panels, workshops, and a career fair. So the panels are usually from individuals from companies such as Deloitte, RSM, et cetera. And same thing with the workshops. The workshops are more one-on-one, not, I wouldn't say one-on-one, but more in detail about how you can prepare yourself for the career fair, which is at the end of the day. And the career fair, it's pretty good, you know, especially if it's during the fall symposium. You're right in the middle of recruiting season for many companies, and it really helps a lot in your efforts if you're trying to talk to a certain company and they just happen to be at symposium. Of course, during COVID, symposium has been virtual, so you've only needed to have an Alpha Premium account to join, and I'll go more into detail about that later. But when it was in person, same thing. I think you just needed like an Alpha Premium account, I believe, and you needed to register. And then you just had to travel to the location. So for example, fall 2019 for us, the location was at Texas A&M International in Laredo, Texas. Spring 20, it was at Texas A&M in College Station. And then fall 20 and spring 21, it was virtual. Uh, Fall 21 symposium is gonna be virtual, but then after that, hopefully we could start going back to normal. And then for convention, it's usually in early August, in the first or second week of August. It's a multi-day event, so it's usually about a week long, so like 5 or 6 days, I believe. And then it usually consists of panels, case competitions, workshops, a career fair that lasts many days, and many networking events. So convention is basically like symposium, but just many more additional things. And convention, of course, requires a little bit more things to register for. So, for example, here's some of the offers that our members have gotten from symposiums and from the Alpha convention. So, recently in the last in person convention, people had offers from Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Dell, etc. But recently, especially with the virtual convention, members were able to go more into more companies that are really, really, I would say, prestigious. We had a bunch of people with offers from the big four, such as Deloitte and EY. We had some people who got Microsoft interviews and offers. We had some people who got Facebook, some people who got Dell, but in areas of Dell that some of our members have never interned with before. And then, of course, Goldman, we went from getting a very small amount of people to actually getting a very respectable number. So, of course, Alpha has just been super beneficial for our organization, especially in the past couple of years. So, how do you join Alpha? So Alpha, here's the Alpha Premium link. Of course, you don't have to be an Alpha Premium member to be an Alpha member. You can have an Alpha account that's regular, but it's free. If you want to be able to attend symposium and convention, especially since right now everything is virtual, so that's the only prerequisite that you need. Here's the Alpha Premium account in this QR code. And once you pay those $30, you have access to both symposiums, conventions, scholarships, the fellowship program, literally everything for 1 year. So the account is good for 1 year, and of course you can renew it, or you can get it paid for through HBSA if your national rep decides to make that part of like the rewards for the points of requirement system. So I'll go more in detail about that in a little bit. So, how for HBSA members, how do you go to convention for a free or low cost? Well, it has to do with the points system or requirement system. So each year, the national rep has to decide how they want to take members to convention and what are the requirements. Whenever we were in person, our national reps they would do the requirement system. So it's basically you had to meet a certain amount of requirements, and if you met those requirements, you had a really good chance of going to convention, or if not, almost guaranteed depending on space and budget. So, for example, some of the requirements could be like, okay, in the semester, you need to attend at least 5 corporate events, 4 NPOs, which is our fundraising events pre-COVID, 3 workshops, etc. And if you met all of those requirements, you were good. Depending on what the national rep decides how that goes. In my 2 semesters, I did the point system because since everything was virtual, I felt like the point system was more generous to our members, and the members could have, since everything was virtual, they could have a more calm way of going to Alpha events, since of course the only thing they needed was the little premium account. But whenever they met the minimum amount of points that put, we paid their premium account through HBSA. So of course, you have to be a paid HBSA member to take advantage of whichever system your national rep requires. That's always been a rule that we've had each semester. And then of course, just enjoy HBSA. You can go to the events, you get to grow a lot, you get to meet a bunch of people. And yeah, so as I mentioned, of course, the instructions of the points or requirement system depends on your national reps. So we'll see what the future national reps decide when it comes to the point system and how it relates to Alpha stuff. So in my last slide, here's 2 QR codes that I've put. They kind of go more in detail about how Alpha could possibly be beneficial. So here is the last video that we have from HBSA, which was basically like a blog of them whenever they went to Las Vegas, I believe. And honestly, it's really cool to see like how that experience is in person. Of course, it's been 2 years now that we haven't had that experience due to COVID, but being able to go to convention in person is the possibility is coming up super soon. And I totally recommend watching those videos. It's really cool to see how people's experiences have gone. And also you can check out the Alpha website. Speaking of the Alpha website, here's the other QR code directly from Alpha, from previous members in the past who have gone to convention about why it's beneficial to join Alpha and go to convention and put yourself out there. So with that being said, thank you all very much for watching this video. Hopefully it's been very informative. Of course, if you have any more questions, you can contact your national rep. And with that being said, thank you and have a nice day.